Let's talk about exams now, specifically question papers. A good question paper will test the students, a bad one will test the system. That's exactly what's happening in India. A horrible question paper is doing the rounds. It was prepared by the CBSE, the Central Board of Secondary Education. It was prepared for class 10 students. One passage stands out from the rest, and you have to see it to believe it. Here is what it says, I'm quoting. What people were slow to observe was that the emancipation of the wife destroyed the parents' authority over the children. The mother did not exemplify the obedience upon which she still tried to insist. In bringing the man down from his pedestal, the wife and the mother deprived herself, in fact, of the means of discipline. I'm going to leave this passage on your screens for a while. Make sure you read every word of it. The emancipation of the wife destroyed the parents' authority, it says. The mother did not exemplify obedience. Is this what our children are learning? That independent women cannot be good parents, that the mother must obey the father. How progressive. This is not a test. This is 3 paragraphs of regression and misogyny. It came up in Parliament today. Opposition parties raised this issue. They asked the Ministry of Education to withdraw the question immediately. Listen to this.
The entire passage is riddled with such condemnable ideas, and the questions that follow are equally nonsensical. Sir, I add my voice to the concerns of students, parents, teachers, and educationists, and I raise strong objection to such blatantly misogynist material finding its way into an important examination conducted by the CBSE.
Blatantly misogynistic it is. How is the government responding? Well, they have withdrawn the question, which means all students will get full marks for this passage. They've also referred the issue to a committee of experts. But frankly, this is not enough. Such questions should never have made it to a question paper. It reveals a much bigger problem with our system. Do you know who drafts these tests? Top academicians in this country, teachers and professors. How were all of them okay with this passage? Did they only focus on the language? Or was messaging also a criterion? The government will have to answer these questions. The CBSE will have to. You see, education is not just about technical knowledge. It's not just about grammar or words. It's about how you use those words. And that is where messaging is important. Let's come back to this passage, for instance. Maybe you can correct the grammatical mistakes. Maybe you can give it the perfect header. If you do, you'll get full marks. But at what cost? You have created a student who understands grammar but not misogyny, who's got perfect English but a poor understanding of gender roles. And that defeats the whole purpose of education. The idea is to create well-rounded, responsible individuals, not technical experts. That's secondary. We must use this outrageous passage as a bridge to change, basically revisit our textbooks, reevaluate our teachers, and re-examine our curriculum, because let's face it, this passage is not just a one-off. Indian textbooks have consistently stereotyped women. They're shown as caregivers or homemakers, while men are depicted as soldiers and police officers. As a society, we are moving away from these notions, but we forgot to change our textbooks. So our children continue to learn from the past, a toxic and patriarchal past. The question is, how do you reform the system? And those in charge will have to find ways, maybe constitute a diverse committee to review textbooks or set higher standards for teachers. There can be no compromise here, because our education system has a big responsibility to create the next generation of citizens. How they turn out depends a lot on what they're being taught today. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.